Astronomers find the biggest object in the universe. A new mystery connected to the death of a former aide to Vladimir Putin. And Mexico needs another mass exorcism. This is SkyWatch TV for Monday, March 14th, 2016. I'm Derek Gilbert. First up, more than 36 are dead after a car bomb exploded in the capital of Turkey Sunday night. 37 dead, 125 wounded, more than 70 still in the hospital. The blast was blamed, maybe not surprisingly, on the Kurdistan Workers' Party, the PKK. They've been running a low-grade war against the Turkish government for more than 30 years. Tens of thousands of people have died. This was the second suicide bombing blamed on the PKK in Turkey in the last month. In retaliation, Turkish warplanes hit 18 different PKK targets in northern Iraq Monday. On the west coast of Africa, al-Qaeda-linked terrorists attacked 3 beach hotels popular with Western tourists. They're considered soft targets. 16 people died, including a number of Europeans, before security forces came in and neutralized the attackers. Al-Qaeda in the Maghreb, which has pledged loyalty to the Islamic State, has claimed responsibility for the attacks. Al-Qaeda's affiliate in Syria has once again basically pantsed another rebel group receiving U.S.-made weapons. The al-Nusra Front attacked 13th Division headquarters and seized its weapons, including TOW anti-tank missiles. These are paid for by Saudi Arabia, delivered in coordination with the CIA. Last summer, the al-Nusra Front stopped Division 30, a group trained by the U.S. military, about 5 minutes after they crossed the border from Turkey, took away their weapons. And in September, a group called the New Syrian Forces just surrendered their American weapons, paid for by you and me, American taxpayers, in exchange for safe passage to the al-Nusra Front, which again, as American taxpayers, makes us wonder, what are we really doing over there? Now, last week we told you that Hamas fighters in the Gaza Strip have started refusing orders to dig tunnels into Israel, which they'd used to great effect during the 2014 war with the IDF to launch surprise attacks. Now, Hamas, or at least their fighters, believe that Israel's created a new weapon to detect and destroy their tunnels, which could explain why so many of those tunnels have collapsed recently. And it appears they are correct. A new weapon called the Underground Iron Dome reportedly detects a tunnel and then sends a missile down into it in order to blow it up. Not only is this intended to stop incursions into Israel by Hamas and Hezbollah digging in from Lebanon, it's also a message to Iran that its underground nuclear facilities are not safe. And speaking of missiles, the government of Serbia is wondering why a couple of armed Hellfire missiles were on board an Air Serbia jet that arrived in Belgrade from Beirut on its way to Portland, Oregon. Bomb-sniffing dogs detected the package, which was removed from the plane and defused. Again, the investigation into who sent them and who was supposed to pick them up in Portland is still ongoing. Western military forces at work in Libya on the QT. Satellite photos confirming that French special forces have set up shop at an airbase near Benghazi. Stratfor, a private intelligence service, reports that U.S., British, and Italian special forces troops are also in country, but they're working quietly. Many Libyans are not happy at the presence of Westerners, but they are trying to prevent the Islamic State from getting control of Libya's oil infrastructure. In Washington, a mystery causing controversy between the U.S. and Russia. We reported last fall on the death of Mikhail Laysin, I'm probably not pronouncing that correctly, who died at a hotel in Washington, D.C. in November, just a few blocks away from the White House. Now, this wasn't a particularly fancy hotel, about $240 a night, which in D.C. is not high-end. So it was a little surprising that a multimillionaire, if not a billionaire, would be staying there. Begs the question, was he flying under the radar? And if so, why? Well, his death at the time was reported as a heart attack. 57 years old, rather young, not much older than me. But the coroner's report issued late last week said no, in fact, it was blunt force trauma to the head, neck, abdomen, extremities, although the report did stop short of calling it homicide. Which begs another question. How would one accidentally suffer blunt force trauma over that much of one's body? Setting that aside, Layson was at one time a very close associate of Vladimir Putin. He helped the Russian president consolidate power, served as his press advisor from 1999 to 2004, then was charged with handling the Russian government's takeover of media assets. He set up much of the Kremlin's propaganda apparatus, including the news channel RT, Russia Today. Now, about 2 years ago, Layson resigned as head of the powerful Gazprom media company to move to Los Angeles, apparently to help his son try to become an actor in Hollywood, but also possibly due to a rumored falling out with Putin's close personal friend and money manager. Well, now there's another twist to this story. An opposition leader in Russia has gone to the press claiming that Layson may still be alive. He cites copies of U.S. border crossing documents showing that Layson or somebody using Layson's passport flew out of the United States in December, 40 days after he died. Now, to me, the big question here is not whether Layson actually died, but whether he did or not. Why would anybody, Layson or anybody else, use the passport of a former high-ranking Russian government official who was supposed to be dead to travel out of the country? Either they're very stupid or this was a message from one government to another, as in, we know what you did, or we know that you know what we did, but we don't care. Stay tuned for more on this one. There will be more, I'm sure. And what would really be weird is if this prompted the growth of some new cult, because the 40-day period between his death and leaving the country is just odd. A lot of 40-day periods in the Bible, like Noah's time in the ark and the time between the resurrection and Jesus being taken up into heaven. So, as long as we're waxing metaphysical here, a top exorcist in Mexico says the country is in need of another mass exorcism. Last May, I told you about Father Jose Antonio Fortea, who led an exorcism to drive the demons out of the entire country of Mexico. But Father Fortea is saying they need to do it again because of an increase in satanic ritual killings. He blames this on the cult of Santa Muerte, which is a religion based on the veneration of death, which is personified as a skeleton wearing a bridal gown. A 24-year-old restaurant worker in Chihuahua State was recently beaten, strangled, and had his neck slashed with broken bottles, apparently during a ritual to turn him into a vampire. Police said this was an initiation ceremony for a group called the Sons of Baphomet. Astronomers say that they found the biggest thing in the known universe. They're calling it the BOSS. This is an acronym based on the name of the program that discovered this thing, the Baryon Oscillation Spectroscopic Survey. They're mapping the universe with this device, and this thing that they found, it's a collection of galaxies kind of clumped together like a wall, like a really, really big wall. They say that they believe it takes light about 1 billion years to cross from one side to the other. And so they've given it a name befitting the majesty of something so colossally enormous, the BOSS Great Wall. Some researchers say they think it's so big that it really shouldn't be called one thing, that it's actually a group of smaller things that just happen to be in the same part of the sky. What do they know? That's not how you get funding. And another report on a mystery sound that's driving people crazy. Now, last year we reported on the mystery sky sounds that are popping up all over the world. And you may have heard stories about those unexplained hums in various parts of the world. The Kokomo, Indiana hum, the Taos, New Mexico hum, the Bristol, England hum. Well, now we've got one in Windsor, Ontario. Apparently this has been there for quite some time. Residents say it comes and goes, but it's always there. In late February, Residents told the Windsor Star newspaper that it got so intense that one man said it shook everything like a pounding on the wall. Now, the best guess that researchers have is that it's coming from a place called Zug Island, which is an industrial mass of land near South Detroit, but it's just across the border on the American side. There's a U.S. steel mill there, and researchers think that that might be the source of the hum, but U.S. Steel says, no, it's not us. And because of jurisdictional issues, as it is on the American side, the Canadians can't do anything about it. And finally, a supercomputer over the weekend really surprised experts. Google's AlphaGo computer defeated a grandmaster 3-0 at the complicated Chinese board game of Go. Experts didn't expect a computer to be able to do this for at least another 10 years. One expert said that the AlphaGo, which is partly self-taught on how to play this game, rules and strategy, shows that artificial intelligence research is much farther along than we think, and that it's necessary to develop an entirely new research discipline to guarantee that AI systems remain entirely under human control. We agree. Well, if you haven't noticed, we are expanding the SkyWatch TV channel on Roku. New programs there. If you haven't yet, please check out Into the Multiverse with Josh Peck, Josh and his lovely and intelligent wife, Christina, talking about things of interest related to the nature of space, time, reality. This most recent program deals with the fourth dimensions, plural. Fascinating discussion available online now at the SkyWatch TV channel. SkyWatch Women has also released its first new program. My best friend and wife, Sharon K. Gilbert, hosting a series of one-on-one interviews with the women who will be part of the SkyWatch Women show when it launches in their new studio later this year. And we've given Sci Friday its own channel, its own space on the SkyWatch TV channel, so you can go there and see the SkyWatch TV Sci Friday programs, months of archives for you to browse through. And if you don't mind listening to that guy yell, "Science!" at the beginning of every program. And if you want SkyWatch TV on the go, we've got an audio-only option for you. It's available not only at the Roku channel, but you can download it directly to your iPod or other MP3 player. You'll find the SkyWatch TV podcast page at skywatchtv.com, and there are links there so you can automatically subscribe with your favorite podcatcher. On SkyWatch TV this week, a very timely discussion. We talk about the year 2016. Why is it so important to so many throughout history? There have been a number of prophecies. In fact, a whole bunch of them. Christian, pagan, almost all of them extra-biblical, of course. But that begs the question that why are so many pointing to 2016 as a year when something big is going to happen? Tom Horn is the guest this week, and he talks about his book, Zenith 2016, which he calls his magnum opus. Fascinating discussion. Don't miss it. It is available now on the SkyWatch TV channel at Roku. But you'll also see it today on the Victory Television Network, 8:30 p.m. Central Time. That's for you in Arkansas and around Memphis. Tomorrow, Tuesday, 4 times on Tuesday, the Victory Television Network TV stations in Sandusky, Ohio, WGGN TV 52, WLLA TV 64 in Kalamazoo, Michigan, and coast to coast on the Christian Television Network. That is tomorrow. And then later in the week, you'll see all of the times and places posted at the channel listing link at skywatchtv.com. And for your viewing pleasure at home and convenience, the Rocky Mountain International Prophecy Conference will be streamed live to the internet, not just the main ballroom, but the main ballroom and the largest breakout room, the Aspen Room. You can subscribe to just one feed or the other, or both, for a discount. You'll find complete information and a place to sign up at the website of our friends, Gary Stearman, Bob Ulrich at prophecywatchers.com. Your support is vital to keeping SkyWatch TV going. We do depend on it, and we like to thank you. To make sure you know that we appreciate your support, for the month of March, a very timely DVD, America's Courts, Progress and Peril. Timely because of the recent passing of Justice Scalia, and we'll soon be arguing over who should replace him on the Supreme Court. For your donation of $20 or more during the month of March, a copy of that DVD and a keepsake wall plaque. To donate, log on to skywatchtv.com/donate. And you can support SkyWatch TV with your mouse finger. Click like, share, and subscribe at Facebook, Twitter, and, of course, our official YouTube channel. And of course, I post everything I do on the interwebs at my website, and of course, Facebook and Twitter here. My email address for your comments, questions, and suggestions, dgilbert@skywatchtv.com. And thank you for watching as we keep watch. I'm Derek Gilbert, and this is SkyWatch TV.
From the time she was little, Nita dreamed of horses. Every childhood fantasy rode on the back of a heroic white steed, coming to save the day.
I don't know how long I've had this love in my heart for horses. It's just always been there. And when we were little girls, my sister and I would play all day long. I was always the white horse and she was always the little pink pig.
Let's pretend Lightning and Rosie can fly.
But everything changed in a heartbeat. On December 9th, 1971, a tragic car accident claimed the life of my dad and my best friend and my little sister. And I wondered after that if there was anything left to believe in.
Move aside, let the ambulance through. Please move aside.
As a child of 13, I felt like I had lost practically everything. And I wondered, is this it? I mean, where do I go from here? I could not have imagined back then how God could use horses, of all things, to restore my faith and vision for the future.
Starting April 19th, get your copy of Nita Horn's inspirational new book, No Fences, and learn for the first time her amazing story of loss, survival, determination, and healing. How the vision and love God gave her for these beautiful and majestic animals eventually led to the 150-acre Whispering Ponies Ranch, a general retreat facility, as well as a premier training location that specializes in using and gifting therapeutic animals to benefit the herding. Other care facilities, schools, and ministries across the nation.
When God puts something in your heart, it's there for a lifetime.